Hiya, everyone. I'm Raven the Goddess, and today is Wisdom Wednesday. I'm actually experimenting with a new method of editing as well as presentation for Wisdom Wednesday. I've been meaning to kind of get around to experimenting with some new techniques and ideas for Wisdom Wednesday for quite a while. But of course, as all creatives, we all know that time sometimes is not always on our side. Um, but I'm trying to implement some of the things I've been learning. I know you guys probably noticed me adjust my head because I'm kind of self-conscious about my double chin, but that's one of the parts of learning my angles that I've been trying to implement in my content. And no, I'm not editing it out because I want you guys to see everything um as far as behind the scenes or anything that might help you as a creative, because a lot of times people hide or gatekeep those things and they want to make believe like everything's perfect, but it's not and never will be. And guess what? That's okay. But without further ado, I'm gonna jump into today's topic, which I know you guys probably clicked on it like, what in the hell is she talking about? Curly over straight? I might agree, but I also might disagree. Well, I'm not talking about hair. I'm actually talking about growth, spiritual growth, mental growth, growth in life in general. And I have to tell you that yes, curly beats straight. Now, what am I talking about? Well, you know, people, I feel like people tend to try to oversimplify what growth is. I feel like they try to um say, oh, it's just a straight line. Sometimes you go backwards, sometimes you go forward. But, um, growth is just kind of like this linear thing that you have to pursue, and strive for. And in reality, or at least in my reality, it's not. It's not a fucking straight line. Excuse me. It's not a straight line. It's not a perfect path. It's not forward or backward. Growth is chaotic. Growth is sporadic. Growth is unpredictable. It is rewarding. It's painful. It's all of these things but it's anything but simple or straight. It's not straight. And in my journey in life, I know I'm at my big old age of um I kind of like, I don't know. I feel like I'm just now learning myself. I'm just now learning how to navigate life. I've spent so many years, either in survival mode or in this kind of autopilot, doing what I'm supposed to be doing kind of thing, you know what I mean? And I have made so much progress, I feel like, personally, but I do feel like I'm far from done. I feel like I'm never going to be done, but the most important thing I do strive for is embracing and pushing for that growth, with the understanding that it's not always going to be linear. um now now that I've kind of expressed this to you, I want to share some ways that you can embrace this knowledge and implement that into your own daily life, as far as pursuing growth, pursuing your goals, and just overall, working towards improving yourself. The first thing I want to share with you guys is write it down. Now, this can be in the form of notes, your notes app on your phone, a notebook, a journal, writing exercises, poetry, music in my case, whatever outlet you have. I feel like writing things down makes them more tangible and makes them stick. So, if you've had experiences or you have philosophies or if you have made observations on yourself as far as your personal growth and things like that, make sure you write all that stuff down, even if you throw it away after, or even if you have to get rid of it, or if whatever method you use. I feel like some sort of documentation is important for solidifying those lessons that you learn along your journey. Number two, another way to embrace the sporadic, chaotic path of growth is to be gentle with yourself. I'm not gonna lie. I'm coming up with these on top of my head, okay? But be gentle with yourself. What I mean is to allow yourself an understanding that in your human form, unfortunately, you will never be perfect. But understanding that and still trying to enhance those qualities that are beneficial, that are good, or to do your best to always look at the positive side of situations, even if that perspective comes well after the event has occurred. As long as you give yourself grace and understanding that growth takes time, growth is painful. Good habits take time to form. Now, this is not to say you just allow yourself the freedom to just be willy nilly without consequences or without holding yourself accountable, because there's a very fine line between giving grace to yourself and being delusional. Now, we don't want to cross that line, but what's important to remember is that growth is not straight, it's curly. Okay. And finally, the third way, and what can I think of for the third way that you can embrace the fact that growth is not linear, is to just be in the moment. Now, this is my favorite thing to say, my favorite thing to speak on, but it's the absolute truth, because I feel like, especially as creators, whether it's cosplay, music, writing, drawing, streaming, whatever it is that you're into, a lot of times we're so busy hustling. We're so busy on the grind. We're so busy pushing content. We're so busy on to the next thing, trying to make the next dollar, that we forget to be present in the moment, because it's in that moment sometimes that you can obtain the most knowledge, that you can retain the most growth. You have to be open and present in order to receive the growth that comes in lessons in your daily experiences. And there's lessons and signs in just about everything that you do on a day by day basis. So it's stopping to realize when you are on autopilot and to be present in moments, especially moments that matter, are very crucial to your growth. Okay. Um I'm actually really digging this I'm really excited about the plans that I have for Wisdom Wednesday and all my content in general. But anyway, I want to end this episode off with a little bit of homework for you guys. I want to start kind of giving you guys some takeaways and things to do, and kind of expecting you to at least either check back in with me or just do a self check in with yourself after a certain period. So today's homework will be to, what do I want to say? Think about one area in your life or about your personality that you have been able to see substantial growth in. Now, when you think about this, think about over a long period of time, sort of like a before and after. Because when you're in the midst of growth, sometimes you can't see it until you're on the other side of whatever mental obstacle you were trying to get through. But I want you to think about some aspect, whether it's, insecurity, jealousy, self doubt, impatience, poor work ethic, procrastination. Just pick something, an attribute of yourself that you can say that you have grown in within the past. It can be few months or the past few years. And I want you to focus on that. And I want you to focus on the gratitude for where you are now in comparison to where you were before in that particular area. Um, That's something that I try to remember to do daily because it actually motivates me to continue to pour everything I have into my personal growth and not let anything or anybody stop that. Um so that's going to be your homework for today. Um well, look who woke up. Hi, Nani. But yeah, that's all for today. So I hope something I said today resonated with you in some way, shape, or form. Or that you can gain something from it, or it got you thinking in some way. As always, I do appreciate all your likes, shares, comments, and now that I'm on YouTube, your subscriptions. So if you haven't already, please make sure to, if you're watching on YouTube, to go ahead and drop something, a like, a comment, a share, a subscription, hit the subscribe button. Just show me in some way, that you have gained something from today's episode. But that's all for today. Once again, I am Raven the Goddess, and this has been Wisdom Wednesdays. I feel like my shoulders have been like this the whole time. Like, even though they probably haven't, I feel like they have. I feel like I'm still a little bit nervous when it comes to recording, but I'm getting. Anyway, love, light, and blessings.